Good Wednesday morning. Wow, this is a change of pace like everything else right now in my life. Wow, I am heading over to the barn. Dogs are in the house. I got a busy schedule. Got to get the Wagoneer. But hey, good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Ice Age TV. And wow, the change of times in front of your eyes, everybody, and how the whole Ice Age compound has all changed. It really has. If you really were to go and look at a video a year ago and watch me come out of the house and watch me walk across the driveway, you would say, wow. You'd be like, wow, where did everything go? Isn't it incredible? Incredible all the loss that I've had here in less than a year's time. Losing Kiefer, lost my mother, lost my daughter, meaning she's married, moved on, and now the whole collection of all the material things have been lost. But hey, I'm still here, and I'm still here kicking. So good Wednesday morning there to you. Appreciate all the support. I'll tell you, I can never stop running my mouth. It's challenging, but you guys continue to reach out and just reinforce to have me keep it going. So you're the problem too, just so you know. I know I got a problem with talking a lot, but you guys have a problem supporting me, which I love that you do support me. You support me so much that you make me think, why would I stop talking? So thank you very much for everybody out there that supported my channel, reached out when I get really aggravated and burned out, and you guys just keep on keeping me going. If it wasn't for that, I really wouldn't be back. If I made all these videos and there's no comments, no interaction, then yeah, for the most part I'd be like, yeah, I'm running my mouth, people don't listen to me, and I'm just wasting my time. But after reading the comments and seeing how great you guys are and how nice you are to me, I just feel like, wow, I think I should keep going, because I think people really do enjoy who I am, who my channel is, whether I have all the cars or trucks, motorcycles or not. I feel like most of you know me so well from over the years. You just enjoy the continued conversation where I try to bring content to entertain you, and that's what I think I'm accomplishing. But here we are. We've got one more project today, and today's project is to get rid of the Grand Wagoneer, and it has already been done. The deal's done. It's just now, see here, how do we get in here? Just thinking this through on me keeping what in my pocket and what I don't need. And so yeah, I know what I'll do. I know how to handle this. I don't let the dogs out because I just don't have time to chase them around. So I'm going to close barn doors, and we're going to get the Grand Wagoneer. You know, I thought this morning's conversation about this Grand Wagoneer, you know, it's incredible how I so remember back in like 2018 or 17, one of the, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, used to, Tommy Omar. So Tommy Omar used to manage the, I'm going to try to get my little gate thing there. It'll probably fall off somewhere, but Tommy Omar used to manage the Dulles Dodge, and he was, you know, he was a challenging guy, but he's a good guy overall. So I remember him telling me that they're going to be bringing the Grand Wagoneer back. And when I was just a kid, I can still remember in 1977, 78, there was a person that lived up the road from us in New Jersey that had a Grand Wagoneer. And it had the wood panels on that Jeep. And I always liked that vehicle. I always thought, wow. But it was an expensive vehicle back then, and it still is. So the Grand Wagoneer has always kind of been the Jeep's flair of being the, you know, upper echelon. If you own a Grand Wagoneer, you had the horses, you know, you had the success. And so for me, I always wanted a Grand Wagoneer because I was such a Mopar guy, Jeep guy. So I was very excited about that, but it took quite a while for the Jeep brand to finally bring us to the market. And there was even times I thought maybe it won't even make it to the market. And for me, I've owned so many different SUVs. I really have. I've owned the Suburbans. I've owned the Chevy Tahoes. I've owned the Ford Expedition. I've owned the Land Rover. Range Rover full-size vehicle. And I have to honestly say that this, and I've owned the Jeep Grand Cherokees, but that's a different, this is the full-size SUV. And I can honestly tell you, this is the nicest SUV I've owned yet. It's such a nice vehicle. It has the air ride suspension. Now this is a Grand Wagoneer. So there's a Wagoneer, which isn't as loaded up and as nice. So this is the higher end $100,000 vehicle. And it's a beautiful vehicle. My wife absolutely loves it. And I know she's silently bummed that I'm getting rid of it, but she also knows that, we have to get the house back in order. The goal for me is to get the house back in order. And the only way I'm gonna get the house back in order is by getting rid of all this material stuff. I mean, that's the bottom line. So until I can get all this debt out of my hands, I just can't rebuild the fiasco I've created. So as far as the Grand Wagoneer goes, this really is one of my favorite SUVs I've ever owned. And my wife, for the most part, has put most of the miles on this vehicle. She loves it. It has massaging seats, has adaptive cruise control, but it's just a very luxurious, very nice car. And on top of that, it has plenty of power. Even though this thing has that inline six Hurricane turbo motor, which some people just don't like them. They want that 6.4 392 motor, but I didn't want that motor. It's a gas hog, and this thing does pretty good on fuel economy for the most part, but nothing radically great. It's interesting how far down this steering wheel is. Making my gate open, and Brian, who works for me, is going to pick me up. Go up to the dealership, sign off on the paperwork on this and the motorcycle, I think. I don't know, I signed a lot of paperwork yesterday. Signed a lot of paperwork. So back to the Grand Wagoneer here. This is such a great vehicle. And whoever gets this vehicle, it's very interesting. A lady in Pennsylvania ordered this vehicle and she didn't take it. And then Leesburg Dodge did a trade for a car somewhere. And this thing came to her lot. So this was a customer order. I never would have gotten the rear entertainment system. That's a waste of money. So I never would have had that. But this car is unique to the way it's packaged out, because it's not the highest level. This is the level 2. Level 1 is really bare bones. Level 3 is too expensive. And so it's used. My wife does operate these auto. It drives me nuts that people don't know how to do this. It's so aggravating. So I got to go here to the comfort, and I got to get this thing to then go. If I can get the comfort to show up. I don't know why. I got to sync everything, and I mean, it just blows you away. People have no idea. You pay a lot of money for that auto, no AC. I mean, well, I guess the auto puts it on the AC. So anyways, so this is a really nice packaged car, and I think it was like $102,000 car. I think I paid like $95 or $6 for it. And then I traded my Gold Rush Challenger for it, and that car had about 20 grand of equity in it because I put down so much money when I bought that Carvana. And at the time, that Challenger held every bit of 91 grand value when I traded it in for this vehicle. So I had a lot of money put down. So it's just pretty incredible how the vehicle, well, the real incredible thing is, in my view, it's a $100,000 car, but the market is in the $40,000 range. Carvana came back at like, I think, 47. I think, maybe even 45. I can't remember. And so for Bobby here at the dealership, he came in at 49 grand. And then yesterday, it's really just kind of, I knew if I took the Mustang up to that dealership, it would probably entice Bobby to get more excited to maybe try to make a deal. So I deliberately drove that Mustang Dark Horse to the dealership yesterday to sign off for the paperwork and get that Challenger out of my dad's name and get that thing paid off ASAP, which they are. And here I am now in the morning traffic. I gotta let Brian know that I'm heading to the dealership because I told him yesterday that I would do that. And let's see here, Brian. Yes, just yes. Can't do this. Do all this stuff here. Just left. All right. So now, I got a guy here. Go. Noise behind me. All right. So for Bobby, so what happened yesterday with Bobby was we went round and round numbers, and so there was basically he went to 50 grand from 49. So he I just tell you, too much to do here, but very challenging doing what I do. I mean, it's very challenging. I mean, I really do. Yes. Good Lord, dude. Yes, I told him last night. Yeah. Good Lord. All right, so yeah, it's challenging. And I'm going to be in stop and go traffic, which that's something new. It's the morning rush. So we went around. So then I was like, okay, got rid of the Mustang. We made that deal go, which that was challenging, but we got it done, which, beyond unbelievable. If I really thought I could sell that car on my own, I would have tried to sell it, but I already know where it's all going to go. Every guy that goes to try to buy that car is going to come in. It's going to be a car that'll take 6 months to sell. That's what it'll turn into. It'll turn into the never-ending, a guy will want the car, the bank's not going to buy the extra 10, 15 grand of accessories, and it's going to be the constant haggle back and forth of, I can give you 65 for it. But that's after I kept it 2-3 more months, and I've made another $6,000 in payments on the damn thing. So it's just like, no, forget it. It's not worth it. It's over. So if anybody out there thinks, it's like, you know what? When you mod your car, you'll never get the money out of it. That's the bottom line. So, all right, putting the adaptive cruise on because I'm here not really wanting to do that. Setting that up. I don't even know where the damn speed thing is. There it is. Again, it's so many different cars. So right at the last second, when I was pretty much thinking, all right, well, the Grand Wagoneer will just have to be another day. Even though, see, I'm behind 2 payments on this car. These cars are, you can't buy a $100,000 car. Just think this through. I paid like $96,000, but then you have the taxes. So in Virginia, that's going to be basically $4,000. So you're not $100 grand. Then Jake in the back end wants to sell me the maintenance, the tire and wheel, the gap, extended warranty, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, you're at $6,000, $7,000 of add-ons. So now you're at $107,000. So now I put down $20,000, but I'm still financing $87,000. So this turns into a $2,000 a month obligation. So it's crazy where we are today. It's not believable how many people realistically can afford this stuff. I just don't get it. You and I see people drive around these high-dollar cars all the time. You're going to have to put down $50,000 just to have $1,100-$1,200 a month car payment. And that's still huge. If you factor in insurance, personal property, you're still got a $1,500 a month obligation on these high-line cars. So anyways, so now we're stuck because this car is 2 car payments behind. I am literally getting ready to get a notice on this car because once you're 3 car payments behind a vehicle, the notice then is sent to you, the repossession proceedings. They're going to start the repossession process. The banks don't play around. After your 3 payments are missed, that's it. They know you're in dire straits, and it's time for you to pay at least 2 payments in the rear, or you're not going to let the car go, or they're going to come get it. So that's why I was yesterday. It's like, man, I don't want to make another $2,000 payment this damn thing. I regret now paying that $2,000 payment on that damn Ford Lightning truck. That was a waste of money. I was saying to myself yesterday, so paying another $25,000 a year or more on that Lightning truck that I still owe. I'm sure I owe $85 grand on that truck. With interest and everything else, they'll probably apply maybe 12 to 15 towards the payment. So now I'm still going to owe on that truck 70 grand a year from now. And then if I say forget it, I let it go, and I've made 25 grand in payments on the damn thing, then it goes to auction and it goes for 40, there's a $30,000 discrepancy. Well, if you think it through, if I would have taken 25 grand and paid towards, let's just say it has a $40,000 discrepancy, I'd already be 15 grand away from getting rid of that damn discrepancy. So that's why I'm just stepping back and saying, you know what, let it go. I'm better off making these payments to get rid of these things and just go through the discrepancies and arguments with the differences of monies owed. But at least I'm freeing up cash flow to start putting this stuff to bed. That's the biggest thing. So here I am. Go traffic. This is this area, notorious, like wherever you live as well. And all right, what the hell's going on here? So anyways, for at the last second, I said, all right, let's take the ST. I have a good. In the ST, I have a good 8 grand. The payoff in the ST is 26 grand. If I can get 35 for it, there's close to 9 grand of monies to play with. But I actually need close to 7 grand. I need 7 grand for the deficiency. You know, I need $7,000 to make this deal go. So I'm like, how the hell do I do that? I can't, I'm in a position to do that. I got to save up money for my tax bill. So now, I look at him and say, come on, you got to do better. So we went round and round. So Bobby paid 32 for the CVOST. But what he did the last second, he went to 53 grand trade. So in my book, he paid me 34 grand, 35 grand for the bike. That's all he did. He just played with numbers because he knows that CVO doesn't bring good money. But the irony is, the guy, Darren, that came with me, he wants that bike. He wants the bike. So Bobby will probably sell it to him for whatever he factors he paid me for that motorcycle. So that's where the CVO at the last minute came in and made sense, because now yesterday, once again, I got rid of, this is so cool, the car starts up, it knows, nope, doesn't know to do what to do, no, yeah it does. So well, it's gonna be the traffic in this road, man. Yeah, it's just Loud and County, Michigan, they take all your taxes, take all your money. And can they actually afford infrastructure? No. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's all Maryland, everybody. This whole road's problem is all the Maryland commuters. All the Maryland people. This is all it is. It's all it is. There's not 25,000 people live up in where I live. So they say they're way off. They say this road has 25,000 cars a day. It's like, where are you getting that number? There were 35,000 cars a day coming through here in 2004 or 5, 6. How do I know? Because I put a lawn and garden dealership in this road, and the number back in 2005 and 6 showed 35,000 cars a day in this road, which that's what you want if you have a business on a main road, is to drive people into your business. So the county's saying there's only 25,000 cars a day. It's like, are you kidding me? You guys, where do these... It's unfortunate we live in an age where we have so many people in positions in government that just are, what are they? Are they elementary brain programmed? So anyways, yeah, the aggravation sitting here in traffic. Oh boy, oh boy, this is fun. Thank God the car has adaptive cruise control and blah blah blah. So that's where the CVOST came in. This whole ball game of getting the whole deal done. So a lot of going around, blah, blah, blah. Then they come back home and the damn bike won't start. And then to go through all the aggravation of why this bike's not running right. But the good news is I got that bike to run, and I rode the bike, and that's the baddest ass bike. That is the baddest ass Harley Davidson bike I've ever owned. And is it a shame to let it go? It is. And that clutch... There's no doubt that clutch, by the time I even just had a light drive to that dealership, my hand was already getting worn out on that clutch. So I bought that new clutch assembly to make it so it'd be lighter. I never put it on. Waste of money at this point. So yeah, so all the Harleys, it's too bad like the Fast Johnny didn't have like 5 to 7 grand of equity in it to let that go. Or the Lowrider ST had 5 to 7 grand in it to let that go. It's too bad I couldn't, that's the story of my life. It's always like the nicest vehicle I have or I want to keep. That's the vehicle I have to sacrifice. It isn't the one that, oh, who cares if this goes away or that goes away. It never works. So this is the whole fun here. Everybody up on the mountain cuts through this Montresor Road. So this is the worst. All these people here are cutting through the back roads to avoid this Route 15, and so they just all line up. So everybody lets them in. So it just creates basically like a roundabout or a stop sign, because everybody feels for these people, and they just let them in. They let them in just to keep the flow going, just to keep the flow going. Go, 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 go. So this is just one of the problems on the engineering. There's not that many people live up in those back subdivisions coming through that road. There's people cheating coming over the mountain. All right, so anyways, the Grand Wagoneer, really nice vehicle. I was going to say earlier what's crazy is the next person gets this vehicle will probably pay about $55,000. My guess is they're going to try to put it at $59,900. They'll let it go for $57,000 or $58,000, maybe $55,000 if they just really want to move it quickly. And so the next person to get this car in so many ways for half the price that I paid for it. This car does not feel like it has 22,000 miles on it. This car feels like it's a brand new car. So whoever goes and buys this car, they're going to ride off. I have given back to the world like nobody ever has in the car community, because I have given up so many cars that have barely been driven and used, and the person that buys it saves 30%, 40%, 50% of the money of what I paid for, like that CVST. That bike, at the end of the day, with tax and tags and blah, 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 that was a $45,000 bike. If that guy at the dealership, that Bobby lets him have it for $32,000, that guy just saved himself, $13,000. And so that's huge. I mean, that's a lot of money. The guy buys my Dark Horse. If they get 65 out of it or 68 out of it or whatever, 69,999, even if a guy paid 70 grand for it, he's still over $25,000 ahead of me of what I paid and put in that car. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just in the gold rush. I paid $94,000 for that car. If the guy, I told the guys at the dealership to advertise it for $89,900. You know why I told them to do that? I just want to see if the market would bring it, just to see how bad it is. If they they put it on the internet at first at $81,999, I told them that's ridiculous. It's 1 of 34 bill, but they're like, people don't give two shits about that. They don't care. He said the problem with your car is it's used now. It's one thing when it's brand new, 1 of 34 bill to that color combination. Once it's used, that doesn't have the same value. So but the point is, if I saw that car go for $89,900, I'd be like, all right, that car did pretty damn good in the market. If they sell it for like 80 grand, 75 grand, whatever the number comes in to be, I'd be like, wow. The whole, and for me, you talk about dumbasses, there's people that bought those last run Hellcats for $200,000, $150,000, $100,000 Hellcats, and people paid 50 grand, 100 grand over. I mean, so I know some of my channel will say this guy's an idiot and a fool. Well, I'll tell you, I've never been the guy to go out and pay 50 grand, 100 grand for a car that you think's going to be worth so much money. Those people have been destroyed. Those people just cower in the corner. They don't even want to talk about it. These are people that are like, they feel like they'll be laughed at, which they would. Can't blame them. All right, you're in still a stop and go as we take the Grand Wagoneer to the dealership, and I wonder who follows my channel. I mean, if I was a guy local following this channel, and I knew this guy, Iceman, and I saw what he is dumping, I'd be, oh my gosh, if I was in good financial position, and I saw this guy trade in a brand new 911 miles Ford Mustang Dark Horse with a Whipple supercharger on it, and I could maybe pick that thing up in the $60,000 range, oh my gosh, that was an $80,000 car, brand new. Yes, it was. I mean, wow. Yeah, when do I? But but for me, those days are over. For me now to be thinking, oh yeah, no. I mean, for me, it's a huge, huge time out for me, and that's what's interesting. You look at my channel, you go a year later. Last year, I was still picking cars up, buying cars. Now, you go through my channel a year throughout the last year. It's how many vehicles have I dumped now? And I know last year I dumped 10 cars. And then now, the adaptive of this thing freak you out. If you don't know adaptive cruise control, you can't do this stuff. Because the car doesn't start stopping until the last second. So this guy knows this road because he just avoided these two big potholes in the road. You're gonna feel him second. So if I'm correct, oh yeah, everybody did a good job following up on what I had and didn't have, and the smoke show. I think I don't know. I thought I brought up the smoke show on the yesterday of what I had in my lot, but maybe not. I brought the F450 silver 4-door and 2-door white one, but so now the so now if you think from last year, 10 vehicles, I got rid of 10 vehicles, a Corvette and 9 repos with Ford. So now I go to this year, and I'm just thinking, well, the Black Lightning went away here. That was last year, though, right? Now I guess it was this past winter. I just can't keep track of everybody. But we'll just say here recently. So we'll just put the number at 10 vehicles. And then I got rid of the Ram TRX and the Gold Rush. That's 12. I got rid of the Mustang and the Grand Wagoneer. It's 14. I got rid of the CVO ST. That's 15. So right now I'm at 15 vehicles gone. The race truck will go away. That'll be 16. The Lightning will go away. That'll be 17. That'll be 17 vehicles. The CVO 21 is going to go away. 18. The Bobber will go away. That's 19. FTR will go away. It's 20. So as far as other Harleys go, I don't know about that at this time. Can't answer that yet. So over the next, I'd say 60 days, my goal is to get rid of the CVO in the trailer, the Bobber in the trailer, the FTR, and what else did I say? Those 3 vehicles. Oh, the Lightning and the race truck. So we're at 20 vehicles. So you'll witness on my channel me abandoning and selling and getting rid of 20 more vehicles. But I'll still have. I mean, that's what I say. Anybody who watches my channel, they'll be like, but how, my heart doesn't bleed for you, man, because you still have a lot of vehicles. Yeah. But at the same time, the wife now has her own vehicle, and one vehicle. The wife, you think about this. This vehicle has 22,000 miles on it. That Grand Cherokee basically has 30. That's 52,000 miles. So my wife, she racks up miles. She goes and sees her mother in Tennessee. She drives close to 100 miles a day. She drives 88 miles a day back and forth to work. So for that Grand Cherokee, that's going to be a 100,000 mile car. That car will go from 30,000 miles to 60, 70, 80,000 miles. I guarantee you within a 2-year time frame. No doubt. And so that car is my wife's. So you go for me, yeah, I've got the Charger, because I can't get rid of it without that being a repossession, so I'm not ready to do that on that car. Then the Camaro, but Camaro's a specialty car. The Charger's definitely a workable car, so there's that. But then you go to the Blazer, that's my company work vehicle. You go to the Jeep Mojave, once again, that's another company work vehicle. And then it really comes down to the 2 Chevys. And, yeah, is that still too much? I definitely want 3 company vehicles. I mean, I don't want to be in a position where I only have 1 company vehicle. There's no way. I mean, that won't work. Because if the company vehicle breaks down, I'm screwed. So I always want to have a truck and another vehicle that's a very usable, easy, workable vehicle. That's what that Blazer is. That's a very realistic vehicle. So we're getting into a 30-minute conversation. So I think I'm kind of wrap it up. But I just wanted to share with everybody kind of what's going on here. So as far as anything else going anytime soon, I just mentioned, it would be me focused on the CVO 21, the Chief Bobber, the FTR. Those would be the three things I'm very focused on getting rid of. And then my daughter needs to get my race truck back, which that kind of seems to be a problem, which I'm very disappointed about that, because I've asked to come back home, and that's not really the answer I'm getting for her to come back home. And if you think that there's more to that than I'm going to talk about. So that, so to answer these questions, so the 3 bikes, the race truck, and the Lightning. So those 5 vehicles, I would say over the next 30 days to 60 days, will be the vehicles that will be gone. But in the garage, that really won't reflect much, because the FTR is the only thing in the garage. The Triumph, I'm not ready to let go of that Triumph. That's a badass bike. And my friend John did call, after I did get aggravated yesterday, he did call. So he's offering me to put the bikes in his showroom on consignment, but I swear that I don't know, I have to ask him what his consignment fee is. Usually it's a 20-30% fee. So if you sell the bike for 10 grand, he wants $2,000. I mean, if you think these dealerships stay in business making $300 off motorcycles, you're a fool. No. These guys, I guarantee in the back end, they average $2,000 to $3,000 per unit. It's just merchandise. But you really have to step back and say to yourself, these dealerships are like a watch or jewelry store or a furniture store. It's just merchandise. They're just selling merchandise. So even though people get all fixated on these really cool cars and motorcycles, for the owner of a business, they don't give they don't care. All they care about is how much money they make off this stuff. So if you think you can run a dealership and make $300, $400, $500 off a sale of a motorcycle or a car, you won't be in business. It doesn't work that way. They're making $2,000, $3,000. These manufacturers have to give them pretty big discounts on these motorcycles. When I was in the lawn and garden equipment industry, you were working with 30% margins on equipment. Some manufacturers were 15%, but that reflected everybody else in the industry, where guys were only discounting stuff 5, 10% max. But so these motorcycle dealerships, I can guarantee you that the Indian and the Triumph product, there's probably a 30-35% markup from their cost. So if they take 10% off the bike, they still have a 20-25% profit margin and a $20,000 motorcycle, which is $4,000. $10,000 motorcycle, that can turn into $1,000 or $2,000. Just depends. That's why once again, think it through. If you buy a brand new FTR motorcycle for 15 grand and it's instantly worth $7,500, what does that tell you? It tells you the dealership isn't paying much more than 8-9 grand for that motorcycle. Maybe 10 at best, brand new. So that tells everything when you get a value on your motorcycle on how it's worth close to half, because the dealerships have 35% margins on those bikes. All right, come up here to the dealership. I gotta shut the hell up. Will not want to be in the video. Odds are that Bobby and Sammy, all those guys, I doubt will be in yet. And I gotta sign the paperwork and get the hell out of there. And this thing was all cleaned out by the wife last night, and the wife's very happy. Actually, the wife's getting happier by the day watching me get rid of all this crap. So, for the record, the wife's probably the happiest she's been in quite a while. So, thank God. And she feels bad. She's like, she feels bad and feels sorry for me for but I'm like, you know what? In the end, we'll be better off. So, whatever. It's just material things. It's all it is. And Bobby's position is, it's all replaceable. I was talking about Camaro. He's telling me I can sell a Camaro and go find another one just like it. I'm like, Bobby, you won't. You will not find a 16,000 mile used Camaro for 60 grand. You're not going to find it. I mean, good luck. The used ones with very low mileage, I know for a fact, they're $80,000, $90,000 vehicles. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this over here because I think this is where it'll be best suited. We can walk around, make sure it's okay. And that's it, everybody. Long video as usual. So God bless and have a great day, and stay tuned for more adventures. I don't know. What's today's adventure? I have no idea. I get too much going on. God bless.